Part 1, A Royal Gift. Lieutenant Commander Rylan Pierce adjusted his dress uniform one final time before the diplomatic reception aboard the Coalition starship Stellar Horizon. At 35, he'd earned his position through dedication and tactical brilliance during the frontier conflicts, though he never expected to be representing humanity at a first contact ceremony with the enigmatic Etherian Empire. The grand reception hall sparkled with crystalline decorations, their surfaces catching the light of distant stars through the transparent ceiling. Dignitaries from Earth mingled cautiously with the tall, ethereal Etherians, whose silvery skin seemed to shimmer with an inner light. "Nervous, Commander?" Captain Victoria Walsh appeared beside him, her decorated uniform marking her as his superior officer. "The Etherians are particularly interested in meeting our military leaders." "Just trying not to start an interstellar incident, Captain," Rylan replied, watching an Etherian noble glide past, their movements almost liquid in their grace. The ambient music suddenly shifted, and the crowd parted as High Princess Selena of the Etherian Empire made her entrance. Unlike her people's typically silver coloring, her skin held a subtle azure tint that marked her royal lineage. The jeweled necklace at her throat pulsed with an inner light that matched her iridescent eyes. Their gazes met across the chamber, and Rylan felt an unexpected jolt of connection. The princess changed course, moving directly toward him with purpose. "Commander Pierce," she addressed him by name, surprising him. "Your tactical analysis of the frontier conflicts has made quite an impression on our military council." Rylan bowed respectfully, remembering his diplomatic briefings. "You honor me, Your Highness. I'm surprised your people would find interest in our modest achievements." "Modest?" A smile played at her lips. "Your species achieved faster-than-light travel barely a century ago, yet already you've established colonies across 3 sectors and defended them successfully against the swarm incursions. We find humanity's adaptability fascinating." Before Rylan could respond, the ship's emergency alerts blared to life. Red warning lights bathed the reception hall in an ominous glow. "Multiple unauthorized vessels detected," the ship's AI announced. "Hull breach in sectors 7 through 9. Rylan's military training kicked in instantly. "Captain, we need to evacuate the civilians." "Your Highness, please allow me to escort you to safety." The first explosion rocked the ship, sending guests stumbling. Through the smoke emerged armed figures in advanced stealth suits, their weapons trained on the crowd. "Death to the Impure Alliance," one shouted in heavily accented standard. Rylan saw the assassin's weapon swing toward Princess Selena and acted without hesitation. He tackled her to the ground as energy bolts sizzled through the space where she'd stood. "The necklace," she gasped as they took cover behind an overturned table. "They're after the ancestral crystal." "Your Highness, we need to get you to safety." "No, you don't understand." Her hands went to her throat, unfastening the glowing necklace. "This is more than jewelry. It's a key to ancient technology, passed down through our royal line. If they capture it..." Another explosion rocked the ship. Rylan made a split-second decision. "Give it to me. They'll be watching you, not some human commander." Selena's iridescent eyes studied him intently. "The crystal chooses its bearers, Commander. If it rejects you..." "We don't have time to debate this." Rylan reached for the necklace. The moment his fingers touched the crystal, warmth surged through his body. The gem's pulsing light synchronized with his heartbeat. "Extraordinary," Selena breathed. "It accepts you." Security forces were engaging the attackers now, but more were pouring in through the breached hull. Rylan helped Selena to her feet. "We need to move. Whatever this necklace really is, we can't let them get it." As they fled through the ship's corridors, Rylan became aware of something strange. The crystal's warmth was spreading through him, and suddenly he could sense the ship's layout in his mind, could feel the positions of the attackers. "The crystal is bonding with you," Selena explained as they ran. It's showing you what you need to see. They rounded a corner and found themselves face to face with 3 attackers. Before Ryland could draw his weapon, the crystal flared. Energy coursed through him, and he moved with impossible speed and precision, disarming all 3 assailants in seconds. How did I? The crystal enhances natural abilities, Selena explained. In the right hands, it can, watch out. The ship lurched violently. Through the crystal's expanded awareness, Ryland sensed the attackers had breached the engine core. They had minutes before catastrophic failure. Trust me, he said, grabbing Selena's hand. The crystal's power guided him through maintenance tunnels and emergency routes until they reached the shuttle bay. As they prepared to launch an escape pod, Selena caught his arm. Commander. Rylan. The crystal chose you for a reason. What happens next will change both our civilizations forever. Looking into her iridescent eyes, feeling the crystal's power humming through him, Rylan knew she was right. This was more than a simple diplomatic mission gone wrong. It was the beginning of something extraordinary. The escape pod launched just as the Stellar Horizon's engines went critical. As they watched the ship's final moments from a safe distance, Rylan touched the crystal at his throat. Its warmth pulsed in time with both his heartbeat and Selena's, a tangible connection between their species. Whatever came next, their fates were now intertwined. Part 2, Secrets of the Crystal. The Etherean sanctuary ship Celestial Haven hung like a jeweled pendant against the velvet black of space. Inside its crystalline halls, Rylan Pierce paced restlessly, the ancient necklace still pulsing warmly against his chest. 2 days had passed since the attack on the Stellar Horizon, and the crystal's powers were growing stronger by the hour. Your adaptation to the crystal is remarkable, Princess Selena observed from her position by the quantum display. It took my ancestors generations to achieve what you've managed in days. Rylan paused his pacing, watching ethereal data streams flow through the air around them. Thanks to the crystal, he could now read the Etherean script as easily as English. Maybe that's why they attacked. They somehow knew the crystal would choose a human bearer. Impossible, declared Grand Architect Theron, the princess's chief advisor. His silver skin rippled with skepticism. The crystal of ascension choosing forgive me, Commander, but choosing a species as young as humanity? It defies all precedent. Yet here we are, Selena countered, moving closer to Rylan. And we cannot ignore the timing. First contact with humanity, followed immediately by an attack targeting the crystal? The insurgents knew something we didn't. Before anyone could respond, alarms blared throughout the sanctuary ship. Rylan felt the crystal flare with warning seconds before the ship's AI announced, multiple quantum signatures detected. Unregistered vessels emerging from hyperspace. Through his enhanced connection to the ship's systems, Rylan watched 8 warships materialize around them. Their design was neither human nor Etherean. Kandorian vessels, Theron breathed. But they signed the peace accord centuries ago. This is Admiral Vex of the True Path, a harsh voice broadcasted across all frequencies. Surrender the crystal of ascension and the human abomination who bears it, or we will reduce this ship to atoms. Selena's guards moved to protect her, but she waved them back. The Kandorians were our closest allies before the Great Schism. They believe genetic and technological purity must be maintained at all costs. And a human wielding one of the galaxy's most powerful artifacts doesn't fit their worldview, Rylan concluded. The crystal hummed against his skin, showing him possibilities, trajectories, outcomes. We can't let them take it. Agreed, Selena stepped closer, her iridescent eyes meeting his. But the Celestial Haven is a diplomatic vessel. We're no match for 8 warships. Rylan smiled, feeling the crystal's power flow through him. Maybe not. But I'm starting to understand why the crystal chose me. Captain Walsh used to say my unconventional tactics were either brilliant or insane. What are you suggesting? Something definitely insane. He turned to Theron. The ship's quantum core, it interfaces with the crystalline structure of the hull, right? The Grand Architect nodded slowly. Yes, but, his eyes widened. No. Absolutely not. The energy required would tear the ship apart. Not if we channel it properly. Rylan touched the crystal, which pulsed with increased intensity. The crystal doesn't just enhance natural abilities. It's a key to understanding how your ancestors' technology really works. Selena caught on quickly. You want to use the crystal to interface directly with our ship's systems? That's never been done. Exactly why it might work. The Kandorians are expecting us to either surrender or try to run. They're not prepared for a human thinking like an Etherian while having none of your preconceptions about what's possible. You'll die, Theron protested. The neural load alone. The crystal will protect him, Selena interrupted. Her hand found Rylan's, sending a shock of connection through both of them. As will I. Admiral Vex's voice boomed again, you have 1 minute to comply. Rylan squeezed Selena's hand, then pressed his other palm against the ship's crystalline wall. The necklace flared with brilliant light as he opened himself fully to its power. Suddenly he wasn't just reading the ship's systems, he was the ship, every crystalline facet an extension of his consciousness. The Kandorian ships opened fire, but Rylan was already moving. The celestial haven responded to his thoughts with impossible grace, its crystalline structure reconfiguring in ways that defied conventional physics. Energy weapons splashed harmlessly against quantum shields that didn't exist until milliseconds before impact. Through the crystal's power, Rylan could see the complex mathematical patterns underlying reality itself. The Etherians' ancestors hadn't just built advanced technology, they'd learned to encode the laws of physics into crystalline matrices. Impossible, he heard Theron exclaim as the celestial haven performed maneuvers that should have torn it apart. The hull is evolving? Rylan barely heard him. He was too busy rewriting the ship's fundamental structure, using the crystal's knowledge to transform the diplomatic vessel into something new. Energy coursed through reconfigured quantum matrices, building to impossible levels. Detecting massive energy spike, one of the Kandorian ships reported. Some kind of quantum cascade. Rylan released the accumulated power in a precise burst. Space itself seemed to ripple as 8 quantum pulses struck the Kandorian vessels simultaneously. Their shields, designed to stop conventional weapons, were useless against attacks that rewrote local physics. When the light faded, the Kandorian ships hung motionless, their systems completely shut down. Rylan collapsed as the crystal's power receded, but Selena caught him before he hit the deck. That was either the bravest or most foolish thing I've ever seen, she said softly. Probably both, he managed a weak smile. But now we know why the crystal chose me. Sometimes you need an outsider's perspective to see new possibilities. You've done more than that, Theron approached, his earlier skepticism replaced with wonder. You've proven that our ancestors' technology can be reinterpreted. Enhanced. The implications. Can wait, Selena interrupted firmly. Right now, we need to get somewhere safe and figure out how deep this conspiracy goes. The Kandorians wouldn't have risked open warfare without powerful allies. Rylan touched the crystal, which hummed with contentment. Together then? Selena's answering smile was radiant. Together. As the celestial haven limped toward safety, its crystalline structure still bearing the marks of its transformation, Rylan knew they'd crossed a threshold. The crystal hadn't just chosen him, it had chosen to help bridge the gap between their species, showing both humans and Etherians new ways to grow beyond their limitations. The real question was, who would try to stop them next? Part 3, Echoes of Betrayal. The ancient Etherian archive hummed with crystalline energy as Rylan and Selena pored over quantum-encoded records. 3 weeks after the Kandorian attack, they'd sought refuge in this hidden facility, buried deep within an asteroid at the edge of known space. "Look at this," Selena called, her iridescent eyes scanning streams of data. "Another crystal activation, recorded 8 centuries ago." The bearer was Kandorian. Rylan touched the ancient necklace at his throat, feeling its resonance with the archive systems. "I thought the Etherians were the only ones who could use these crystals." "We were. Until the Great Schism." She waved her hand, bringing up new records. "The Kandorians were once part of our empire. They left because they believed we were diluting our species' purity by sharing technology with younger races." "Like humans," Rylan nodded, understanding dawning. "But that doesn't explain why." A sudden surge of warning from the crystal cut him off. Through their shared connection, Selena felt it too. "We're not alone." The archive's crystalline walls pulsed with emergency light as defensive systems activated. Rylan reached out with his enhanced senses, feeling the facility's security grid through the crystal's power. Multiple breaches. "They're using phase shift technology to bypass the outer barriers." "Impossible," Selena breathed. "Only the High Council knows this location." "Then we have our answer about who's really behind the attacks." Rylan drew his modified pulse pistol as shadows moved at the chamber's entrance. "Your own people are working with the Kandorians." High Counselor Darien emerged from the shadows, flanked by both Etherian and Kandorian soldiers. His silver skin rippled with barely contained disgust. "How predictable that you'd hide here, among the relics of our past. Just like your father, Selena, always looking backward instead of forward." "My father was murdered," Selena's voice cracked with revelation. "It wasn't an accident during the quantum core tests. You killed him." "He would have destroyed everything we built," Darien spat. "Sharing our sacred technology with lesser beings, diluting our genetic purity." The Kandorians understood. "They helped us preserve what matters." The crystal pulsed against Rylan's chest, sharing a desperate warning. He grabbed Selena's arm. "He's not here to capture us. The whole facility's rigged to collapse." Darien smiled coldly. "Clever human. The crystal serves you well. But it won't save you from what's coming." He raised his hand, revealing a dark crystal that pulsed with sickly energy. "Did you think yours was the only one?" The facility's lights flickered as 2 crystal energies clashed. Rylan felt reality itself buckle as Darien's corrupt crystal tried to overpower his. But something was different this time. "You feel it, don't you?" Darien taunted. "Your crystal may have chosen you, but mine has been modified. Enhanced. The Kandorians helped us unlock its true potential. By corrupting it," Selena accused. "Those crystals were meant to bridge understanding between species, not enforce superiority." The air crackled with energy as Darien launched his attack. Dark crystal energy lashed out like lightning, but Rylan was ready. His crystal flared with brilliant light, creating a shield of pure quantum force. "Selena, the archives," he shouted, maintaining the barrier. "Download everything you can. We need proof of what they've done." She didn't hesitate, her hands dancing across crystalline interfaces as she extracted centuries of hidden data. Darien's forces opened fire, their weapons enhanced by dark crystal energy. Rylan had never pushed the crystal's powers so far. He moved with impossible speed, the artifact's energy flowing through him like liquid starlight. Every shot he fired was guided by enhanced perception, every defensive move calculated with quantum precision. "You fight well, human," Darien acknowledged as they clashed. "But you're only delaying the inevitable. The pure races must prevail." "Purity," Rylan laughed, drawing more power from his crystal. "Is that what you call genetic stagnation? The crystal chose me because humanity still has room to grow, to adapt, to change." The facility shuddered as demolition charges began to detonate. Through his connection to the crystal, Rylan sensed they had minutes before total collapse. "Done," Selena called. "I have everything." Rylan gathered his power for one final push. The crystal burned against his chest as he channeled more energy than ever before. Reality itself seemed to bend around him. "Impossible," Darien breathed as Rylan's crystal overpowered his dark version. "The human's connection, it's still growing stronger." "Because he understands what you've forgotten," Selena said, moving to Rylan's side. "The crystals were never about maintaining purity. They were about finding those worthy of carrying our legacy forward." Together, they unleashed a blast of combined energy that sent Darien and his forces flying backward. The facility was coming apart around them now, but Rylan could sense a path to safety through his enhanced awareness. "This isn't over," Darien snarled as they made their escape. "The Council will never accept this abomination." "They won't have a choice," Selena called back. "Not once they see the truth." They barely reached their hidden shuttle before the archive collapsed. As they accelerated away from the asteroid, Rylan felt Selena's hand find his. The crystal hummed contentedly, its energy synchronizing with both their heartbeats. "He's right about one thing," Rylan said softly. "This isn't over. The Council, the Kandorians, they'll keep coming. Let them come." Selena's eyes blazed with determination. "We have proof of their conspiracy now. And more importantly, we have each other." The crystal pulsed with approval as their fingers intertwined. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, proving that true strength came not from purity, but from the courage to embrace change. As their shuttle vanished into quantum space, Rylan knew they'd crossed another threshold. The real war for the future of both their species was just beginning. Part 4, The Legacy of the Infinite Stars. The Next Generation. Years passed, and the Alliance of Stars flourished. The Council, now a powerful force for peace and cooperation, continued to grow, bringing together species from across the galaxy. Luminara, once a kingdom on the brink of collapse, had become a thriving hub of culture, technology, and diplomacy. Elias and Lyria, now married and ruling together, had become symbols of unity and hope. Their love, born out of adversity, had grown into a powerful force that inspired countless others. Together, they had built a legacy that would endure for generations. Their children, Prince Elian and Princess Selene, were the living embodiment of this legacy. Born with the unique abilities of both their parents, they represented the future of the Alliance. Elian, with his father's strength and determination, and Selene, with her mother's grace and wisdom, were destined to carry on their parents' work. The necklace's secret. As the children grew, so did their connection to the necklace. Its power, once a source of conflict, had become a symbol of their family's bond. But as they delved deeper into its mysteries, they discovered that the necklace held a secret, one that would change everything. The necklace, they learned, was not just a source of power but a key to an ancient portal, one that connected their galaxy to others. This portal, hidden deep within the Luminarian forests, had been sealed for millennia, its existence known only to a select few. But now, with the necklace's power, it could be reopened. A new threat. The discovery of the portal brought with it new challenges. Word of its existence spread quickly, attracting the attention of those who sought to exploit its power. Among them was the enigmatic Lord Nyx, a powerful being from a distant galaxy who had long sought to control the portal for his own gain. Nyx, with his vast army and advanced technology, launched an attack on Luminara, seeking to seize the necklace and unlock the portal. The Alliance, though strong, was unprepared for this new threat. Elias and Lyria, now older but no less determined, knew that they would need to draw on all their strength and wisdom to protect their family and their legacy. The final battle. The battle for Luminara was the most intense yet. Nyx's forces, armed with technology far beyond anything the Alliance had ever seen, seemed unstoppable. But Elias and Lyria, with the help of their children and their allies, fought with everything they had. The necklace, now in the hands of Elian and Selene, played a crucial role in the battle. Its power, combined with the unique abilities of the siblings, proved to be a formidable force. Together, they managed to hold off Nyx's forces, buying time for Elias and Lyria to confront Nyx himself. The sacrifice. The final confrontation took place at the portal, deep within the Luminarian forests. Nyx, desperate to unlock its power, fought with everything he had. But Elias and Lyria, drawing on the strength of their bond and the power of the necklace, managed to defeat him. In the end, it was not strength or power that won the day, but love and unity. Nyx, defeated and broken, was sealed within the portal, his threat neutralized. But the victory came at a cost. The portal, now unstable, began to collapse. Elias and Lyria, knowing that the portal's destruction would protect their galaxy, made the ultimate sacrifice, using the necklace's power to seal it forever. A legacy of hope. With the portal sealed and Nyx defeated, the alliance was safe once more. But the loss of Elias and Lyria was felt deeply by all. Their children, Elian and Selene, now bore the weight of their legacy, determined to carry on their parents' work. The necklace, now a symbol of their sacrifice, was placed in a place of honor within the council's grand hall. Its power, though diminished, continued to inspire hope and unity. And as the alliance looked to the future, they knew that the legacy of the infinite stars would endure, a testament to the power of love, unity, and the boundless potential of the universe.